And welcome back. It's a busy day here on the farm. I've got Adam over here. Hello, Adam. He's going to be seeding a field for me in wheat while I'm doing the potatoes, because I can't do both today and it's the last day of summer. So let me see here. Lift that up. Lift it up. All right. Give him room. He can load from my dump truck over there. Get that all in place. All right. So I had the guys drop off seed at the field, loaded it up into my truck so that I can load my own seeder. And we're going to be doing potatoes today. As promised. The show from West Coast that never was, if you will. So I'm actually going to line myself up on these electric poles here to use them to give me a straight line across the field. Let's see here. Now, the only thing I'm not 100% certain about is what kind of power I'm going to need to pull this thing through. So just drop it down. Oh, no problem. Let's see if we can go one up. 12. That's pretty good. Let's see here. This will be our center row. We'll just base everything else on this. Just use them as a guide. Looks good. How are we doing back there? Yep, we got potatoes going in. I'm a happy boy. All right, straighten out a bit. So yeah, like I said, I did all of this in the West Coast. And due to a mod conflict of some sort, we lost the save game. So it all has to get done again. No problem though. Just more gameplay. Let's see here. So the only thing I don't really like about this is the fact that though we do have multi-terrain angle on the map, there's no multi-terrain angle on potatoes. So we will have to see if I can somehow do them in a believable way. Slow it down and right about there. Lift her up. Down to first gear. And it's not the straightest planting in the world, is it? What do I want to do about that? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that if I could, it would be nice if I could just do the contours and just have the lines follow me. But I don't think that's a possibility. So we're just going to carry on and we're going to go right beside that one and do another row. And hope we get nice and straight and follow this row here. We'll have to see at the end of it if I missed any spots. Should be okay. One thing I should map to my wheel at some point is the Z button to be able to drop that that edge marker. That might be an opportunity actually to do it now. Just gonna go to the end, I think. Let's see what we can do. So the plan behind the potatoes is to go into the pig business again. That and potatoes are kind of cool because you can seed potatoes with more potatoes. So once you've got this crop in, next year's crop, I don't have to pay for seed again. I just spent $12,000 on seed alone. So if I can save that cost next year by setting aside a couple of liters of potatoes, I'll be golden. Well, a couple thousand liters of potatoes. We'll see. The other thing too is that if this works out, this will become my seed field. And then next year what I'd like to do is to turn that wheat field into more potatoes. Just to see how far we can push this. When I say next year, I mean, you know, next season, I guess. Next set of seasons. Let's see here. You can use the road to turn around at this end. And up she comes. Try not to hit anything. That's not half bad, actually. I'm actually pretty okay with that. Let's see if I can do it between the poles now. Drop it down and go. So here. And a little bit more. And right about there. Stop. Up. Reverse it up. Out of here. Go back to the other side of it. Back up to the pole without hitting it, if at all possible. Now go forward. There we go. I think that worked out. Let's fill in these gaps and then we'll just do everything from here over in potatoes. That's the hope, that's the dream. There was a time a couple of months ago where crop destruction on potatoes got a little bit insane and you couldn't even back up on them even after you had just seeded them. It would destroy your crop basically as soon as it was in the ground. It seemed to have fixed that. So now you can actually back up onto your crop just fine. Okay, drop it down. Hopefully I'm in forward gear. There you go. Off we go again. It's not bad. We're planting at about 10 kilometers an hour. 5 miles, I guess. 4 or 5 miles an hour. That's an acceptable speed for me. Tell you one thing though, I just did a little bit of plowing to join all these fields together. And plowing with the manual gearbox and with this tractor is an absolute joy. Just had a great time doing that. You could actually just pick your speed and, you know, having to shift and the clutch and all that really gets you immersed in this game. I don't think I could have kept playing the other way for very long. At some point, the thrill of DLCs and of new maps will wear thin. Now I wondered, did I make this curve properly so that I get... Maybe not. Maybe I'll be on either side of this pole. It was curving a little bit to the left in terms of the field geometry, but I think it's going to be okay. Let's see if I can do this without hitting it. Yep. One of the things about gearbox is if you're in a manual transmission and you get caught on a pole or on a tree or whatever, it will stall your engine. Alright, try to do this before we end up in the lake. Beautiful, beautiful. Love that. Again, the texture on potatoes not being multi-terrain is a bit of a buzzkill, but you know what? The inroads that have been made with multi-terrain angle and all the other stuff in this game, I'm okay with it. Put ourselves in the proper position here. And we'll just have to go down the other side of the hole as we go. Okay, good, right there. So drop it down. One thing I do love about the Vultras is that little mirror just up there. That's an amazing little tool. You can really see, like when you're baling, you can see the inlet to the baler, so you know if you're still on the right windrow. How are we doing here? No, didn't hit. Good. Get ourselves back over. Put up the cruise control. Yeah, you can really see what's going on around you with that little mirror. You just have to glance up every now and then. Like when I start running out of potatoes, I just have to look up in that mirror and it'll tell me that I'm almost out of potatoes. I find that really, really cool about this mod. The little Volmet has it too, which is really cool. Let's see here. All right, we're all good. Yeah, we'll get this field done in no time at all. I'm just wondering if I underestimated how much potatoes are going to be fun. Because I feel like it's going to be a great time harvesting this too. I've got that potato digger, the Polish one with the toe behind one. So we'll have to cut the tops off. I could probably get Alan to do that for me. Just top them all and then come in afterwards and harvest all the potatoes. And the other thing that I'm wondering is, am I in a big hurry once the potatoes are harvested and sitting in the field? Will they be damaged by being in the field by seasons, or can I collect them all the first day of winter? If it doesn't snow on top of them, I think I can afford to wait a day to do my collection, but we'll have to see. I'm not sure if the first year of potatoes is the time to be experimenting with that, but we'll see. Alright. That's awesome. Ah, this is so good. This is so good. This whole farm sim thing is getting closer and closer to simulation. The more you add these wonderful mods like Gearbox in and all that, you get closer and closer to be able to use it as a simulator. Now, a lot of the crop behavior and the seeder behavior and ground modification behaviors don't play along very nice, but you know, all in all, I'm okay with that. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when by the time Farm Sim 19 comes along? I was watching Disco the other night, and he was going through the Horse Pack, the Horse Free DLC that came out, which is awesome, by the way. You guys should download that as soon as possible. But, you know, he was noticing things like they put hoses on everything, and they've got dynamic hoses that, well, they got the potential for dynamic hoses. And that's the kind of thing that, you know, you see Farm Sim putting little hints of stuff like that in, and you start anticipating that that's part of their development. That's part of what they're developing for the next version of the game. And that's going to be exciting. Really cool. Let's see here. How's that going? It's amazing, actually. This little seeder doesn't chew up the potatoes quite as fast as the big one. So you can actually get a lot more field time and a lot less reloading time. And I guess I'm only going 9 kilometers an hour, so I'm actually going to cut this corner here. No, I'm not. I'm going to make it one row at a time. Stick to the realism-ish thing. Yeah. And over through here. Follow that field. See, that would be kind of cool if you could do that and the beds would pop up with that curve in them. That would be nice. Or maybe I'm just the only one who thinks about stuff like that. Okay, where are we? Yep. Turn it around in a tight spot. So, let's see here. I seem to have missed some spot on the curves. So how does that happen? So I have to be basically My wheel has to be basically right on the furrow. Right about there. Drop it down. Let's go. It's a beautiful thing. Let's see if it'll take one more gear up. Up to 12 kilometers an hour. RPMs are good. Loading's pretty good. Let's try one more. The RPMs drop a little bit, but the speed is alright. So maybe that's a good speed. That's a good efficient speed to be at. Doesn't always need to be full throttle. Yeah, I like that. A little bit quieter working. Seems a bit fast to be putting potatoes in the ground, but that's all right. We're gonna go with what the game says. I'm curious to see also how more realistic will affect this sort of behavior. The seeder's behavior and what is an appropriate speed for it to go in. So that's sort of the next level of things. We'll see when that happens. I do kind of miss the MR a little bit. I mean, I haven't had a lot of experience with it, only 1 or 2 episodes, and maybe a week of gameplay. But it does change your perspective on the game quite a bit, especially when you're karting and you're moving stuff around. Drop down to first gear again and lift her up. Okay, am I clear? I think the seeder's gonna hit if I stay there. Nope, we're good, good. And back in for more fun and games. How's Adam doing over there? Oh, he's still doing the headlands, okay. Where are we at here? That's beautiful, good. Drop it down. Get it moving. Up 1 on CVT. Up 2 on the CVT. There you go. Those 3 gears are really amazing. Those 3 extra gears per, well, the 3 extra levels per gear are amazing because you can basically just shift them on the fly without the tractor losing any speed. So when you're actually in the field doing work and you want to choose a different range to be in terms of RPMs, you just hit the button and it automatically changes over. You lose no speed. If I was to push in the clutch and try to shift up to 2nd gear, I'd lose all my momentum because the drag of the seeder would just grind me to a halt. But the CVT doesn't care about that. It just keeps your speed up, which makes it a very, very interesting and very intelligent transmission. You can change your mind on the fly with it, which is really cool. But you still have all the control of having 4 gears and 3 ranges to play around with and to get it straight in terms of, you know, karting and whatever else. And I found that even when I was plowing, I was only plowing with a small plow. It was only a 4 bottom plow, but I didn't really need to use the lower gear for it. It pulled it just fine. I'm curious now to see, okay, if I do put a plow which is obviously too big for this thing, like a Lemkin or something like that on it, and then I put it in low range, will it pull the Lemkin? You know, if you've got appropriate amount of gearing for it, will it do things that otherwise it wouldn't do because of power restrictions? So that's the next question. But as I'm sort of going by a no-till model on this farm, we're basically just getting our plowing credit from the mowing of grass and from the rotating of crops. I don't know if I'll be able to experiment with that on this one. All right, all the way down again, and off we go to the races. And 2nd, and 3rd. Beautiful. This is working out just perfectly. So, off we go. All right. Well, you may have noticed that the episodes are coming a little bit fast and furious this week. I've got a really good internet connection now. I moved my home and have access to actual internet. So it no longer takes me 9 hours to upload a single episode, it takes me 1 hour. Which, needless to say, is a huge relief. So I'm trying to get you guys all caught up on the farm here. Because what I'd like to do is to do a little bit of a live stream for you. Just to test it out to see if that's actually possible. So keep an eye open for that. It's going to be coming up in the next day or two. And hopefully we can play together then. And I can chit chat with you guys and talk about some of the stuff we've done. It's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to leave you guys here. Hang on a second. Oh no, I'm not going to leave you guys here. I'm going to refill my cedar because apparently it's empty. All right, so let's go back here. How far back is it empty? Quite a bit back. So let's just go back to my truck of seed. There's Adam. Hello, Adam. Down here. Just park it up alongside. Now this is where. Alright. And stop. And off. And reloading. Beautiful. Alright, I'm going to reload the potatoes here. Put the brake on so I don't stall it. And I'm going to say goodbye to you guys here. I'm going to finish off this field here. And then now Adam's going to finish off over there. I should be okay for the spring by the time that's all over with. Maybe I'm going to help these guys out seeding some corn tomorrow. Anyway, we got a lot of work to do up at the cattle farm too to get ready for the cows that are coming. So that's all in the cards. We will see you guys soon, I promise. Have a great day.